There are so many reasons that we can struggle to make the changes that we want to make. There's so many reasons it can be difficult to put into practice what you have been learning about when it comes to moving from an insecure attachment style to a secure attachment style. But there is actually a common challenge that I see, not just amongst clients, but people who drop into my DMs or send me messages across the board. And also in my own personal experience as well, to be honest with you, when I really think back to the early stages. And that is wanting to bypass the phase of developing self-awareness. We just want to get to the change and we want it just to happen now. And the tools that we're giving, the strategies that we're given around, first, you need to take a step back and you need to gather information. We often just think, I already know, I know what the problem is, but we don't really understand the importance of this phase of getting to know ourselves on a whole new level. So that's what I want to talk to you about today. I want to talk about self-awareness, becoming aware of your full self. I will let you know what I mean by self-awareness. I'm actually going to share with you the first ever practice that I consciously used to develop my own self-awareness, which I truly believe is the reason I went on to make so many incredible shifts in my life, across the board, in my relationships, but also in my sense of security in the relationship that I have with myself. And that is what I now help my clients with, especially in those early stages of working together. It's so key that we check in around self-awareness. So I'm also going to give you 4 reasons why it's really important that you don't bypass this. Some people will even just want to switch off this video. Yeah, I get self-awareness, but do we really? We often don't. I'm Carly Ann. I support you to interrupt and reshape your attachment style, heal past pain, and develop your true sense of self so that you can follow your dreams and have extraordinary relationships in your lifetime. So what is self-awareness? Let me share with you here what I'm going to be reading. So having self-awareness or being self-aware is being conscious of your whole self. It is to know your state, feelings, traits, thoughts, and different aspects of yourself. Perhaps most importantly, it is to be in the present moment with yourself where you are the focus of your attention. What I want you to tune into here is the different aspects of yourself. The part of you that wants to go on a date or communicate with your partner, at the same time as having a part of you that is tired of dating, that is afraid to have this conversation with your partner. I want you to tune into the fact that self-awareness is about becoming aware of the complexities, the conflicts, the challenges of being human. It is self-awareness that is really going to help you to take the next steps in whatever change it is that you are here seeking. And what I see is that working on becoming more conscious, living in the moment, what I see is that people will bypass that or dismiss just how important it is. And to be honest with you, I think there is many reasons for that. I think we have been conditioned to be warriors and to be negative on ourselves and the world and to not live in the moment, because we become very powerful beings when we are able to know ourselves fully and to be in the moment, as well as it's survival instinct as well. It's not all conditioning. So let me give you a couple of my favorite quotes, because I love to give the quotes on the topics that I'm talking about. It's just something that I appreciate, so maybe you do as well. So until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Much of how you are showing up, the decisions that you're making, the person that you're being, is based on what is happening unconsciously. And the greatest thing is through building our self-awareness, we can start to get to know that. And that means you will take control of your life. As you become more clear about who you really are, you'll be better able to decide what is the best for you the first time around. What I love about the work that I do, which primarily is helping people to go from an insecure attachment to feeling secure in the relationship they have with themselves and with others, I love that there is a ripple effect of becoming more intuitive and in touch with your intuition and true self. That is to really know what is right for you through the way that you feel, to know when your boundaries are being crossed through the way that you feel, to know when something is good for you and right for you through the way that you feel. And how amazing that shows you when, you know what, I do need to have this conversation, or actually I can let this go. This is my insecurity, actually. This isn't real. Or this person is no good for me. The sooner we realize that, the better, right? So the ripple effect through self-awareness and doing this kind of work, getting to know yourself, is becoming intuitive. And I think that comes at that sort of like later level. So first is building self-awareness. That's truly what I feel. If you're here watching this, I want you to celebrate yourself, because already you've cultivated a certain level of self-awareness to know that you need to learn more about this topic, or that you want something new, a new path, a new choice. And so celebrate yourself, because actually we don't celebrate ourselves enough, and it's a great way to counteract self-sabotage and self-criticism. So well done from me, but that self-validation is more important than that. I am going to suspect that there is a problem that you're feeling quite stuck in at the moment, or you're not quite free from, and that is why you're here. You're falling into patterns and you want to give yourself the best chance of finding freedom from this. So I really, really believe that when it comes to practices, doing the work, making changes, shifting, healing, we need to understand why we are doing things. Now, it is almost impossible to find practitioners, coaches, professionals that don't start with raising awareness with you, that don't start with gathering information about the cycle that you are in. You have to know why that is. Why do we need to be more conscious of ourselves? Why can't we just go in and make the change and it just sticks? So I'm going to share with you 4 reasons why it's really important that you do have a practice dedicated to being present, to being conscious, to helping you come off of autopilot, so that you can know yourself in all of these different ways. Because I don't want you to bypass this stage, because then you're going to be more likely to end up in the place that you have been trying to get away from, that you've been trying to make changes from, because you know that there is another version of you that you are, that you want to be. You recognize your potential. I know that from the fact that you're here. And this message about why it's so important to have a practice of self-awareness is really key if you're serious about activating your secure attachment style, if you want to change how you communicate with the people around you, how you communicate when you are feeling feelings, and how you respond to triggers. Then you need to understand why it's so important for you to have a self-awareness conscious practice introduced into your daily life. And then, like I say, I'll share with you next steps and that practice that I first used to help myself become more conscious. So the first reason, this is so key for you, is that being more conscious and building self-awareness, it helps to lessen the spiral of inaccurate and unhelpful beliefs. We have thousands and thousands of thoughts a day, and actually most of them are automatic negative thoughts, and you believe them. You just believe whatever your thoughts tell you about yourself, about the world, about the day, and you go with it on autopilot. You don't stop to stand back and question whether your thoughts are lying to you, are based on something entirely untrue, are based on the past. You just spiral with them. And what being aware helps you to do is to be able to catch these thoughts, these beliefs that are otherwise spiraling, to be able to reframe them, accept them, challenge them, depending on the tool that you're using. And that, when you're able to do that, that's going to stop you from fueling and feeding the anxiety, the intense feelings, the behaviors that then come with that. And you are basically forced to question the situation, to take a step back and to look at the bigger picture. I was working with someone just recently, I think we had a session last week, and what was happening is she was coming with me to me with the thoughts and beliefs of my partner, and so many people relate to this. This is something I work with time and time again, and that I've experienced. My partner doesn't care about me. Other people are a priority. I really feel like I'm not important. And she was believing these, and it was getting her into states of anxiety and stress. And then that was sort of manifesting, well, not sort of, it was manifesting through how she was then presenting herself to her partner, and then their relationship was suffering. We were able to take a step back and really look at the bigger picture. Within seconds, she was able to see that there were so many ways her partner was showing her love and affection and understanding, but she hadn't been seeing it before because she'd only been focused on those beliefs that were spiraling and feeding what she had experienced in the past. So that awareness that she had meant that she was then able to go away, explore this more, or straight away she was able to see it in other areas of her life. And through that, she's now going to give herself the best chance of catching that next time and making herself look, actually, I forgot that my partner does all of these amazing things. And that can help bring her back to a state of joy, pleasure, being content, able to enjoy the time with her partner. So that's the first benefit of building self-awareness. The second I want to tell you about is that you finally get to be yourself. Until now, yourself, the way that you view yourself, value yourself, your self-esteem, the way that you show up in your space in this world has been based on the stories and experiences and beliefs that you hold about yourself. And you've accepted them to be true, that I can't do this, I can only do that, I'm not good enough in this way. And that keeps you really, really small. And now you get to be yourself, because you're going to become aware of who you really are, what you really want, what your dreams are, what are the blocks that are standing in your way, where did they come from? And you're going to give yourself the best chances of noticing those unconscious forces that have been navigating your days, your life, your weeks, that have been influencing how you are showing up in your relationships and what you think when you look in the mirror. You're going to be aware of that. And we have to have these practices in order to build that up. So it will force you to question more about the reality, okay? And you will finally get to be who you really are, your most authentic self, have your own boundaries. your likes, your dislikes, whatever it might be. And you know, people say, I want someone to come in and I want them to know me. We all want to be seen, heard, understood. It is not possible for someone to come in and see you and know you the way that you want to when you don't know yourself. So to start building that conscious awareness of how you react to the different parts of you, it's going to also help you to be able to be seen by other people in a brand new way. And actually, for many people I've worked with, that can be quite scary. To like, what the feedback is often, but what if they don't accept me when I'm being myself? You will find the people that you are a match for in this world when you are yourself. So that's one of the greatest, I could talk about this one all day, one of the greatest benefits of dedicating time to self-awareness and being more conscious is that you get to be yourself. Next is that it's going to get you out of your comfort zone. You don't have to be out of your comfort zone all of the time, but enough that you can reach for what's going to make you happy, what is meant for you, what gives you that sense of excitement and achievement and help you to reach your potential, which is usually outside of our comfort zone. So your subconscious mind is always going to pick what it knows. Comfort, safety, what is familiar. Okay, so this is your opportunity to be able to understand what is familiar, what is known, what is safe, and to make new choices, still in a safe way, still in a way that you feel able to do it. We don't want to overwhelm you or panic you, but we do want you to be able to step out of your comfort zone and do hard things and do new things. So your brain is going to be on autopilot and it is going to choose what it knows until you stand up and say, no, I don't choose to think that today. I choose to notice this today. I remember that I am worthy, that I am enough, that I am safe. I don't choose to do this thing today. I choose to try it this way today. And of course, your brain is going to reject that. You're going to try and go back to those old ways, but then you're going to keep coming through because you're going to understand mind, body, and soul. You're going to know the thoughts. You're going to know what happens in your body when you want to shut down and not have those difficult conversations, or when you finally book that date and then everything in you wants to cancel it. You're going to recognize what is going on in your body so that you can say, no, I choose to do X today. So it also includes old painful ways of thinking and making a choice again about new thoughts, new beliefs. I mean, we've spoken about why that's so important. And all of this, by the way, when I am working with people one-to-one, this is what we work through: mind, body, and soul, becoming aware of what is really going on. What are you noticing? What is holding you back? What's keeping you in this insecure space so that you can get in touch with that secure self and then be aligned with that in terms of your behaviors, your actions, your decisions. The final reason why I really feel it is important not to bypass the phase of dedicating time to self-awareness is that it improves the effectiveness of therapeutic tools. Whether you are reading all of the books, watching all of the videos, or you have a coach, you have a therapist, self-awareness is going to help these tools, these exercises, the practical side of things to be more effective. And actually not just the practical side of things, but it's going to help them to be more effective. So it's going to increase your results. It's going to increase your chances of being the person that you want to be. It's going to increase your chances of choosing again. So you're going to be able to incorporate these tools into your daily life when you are more present, when you are more aware, when you're more conscious living. I just to give you like a few different ways to name it. Who knows what you'll associate with the most? But that's because what happens as you become more aware of your whole self and your reactions and thoughts is that you are more able to regulate yourself, to self-soothe, to like resilience, that is going to increase, and you're going to make better choices for yourself. And so what that means is that when you're in the moment, when you're actually triggered, when your partner has said something and you feel the emotion rise up inside of you, you're going to be able to call on the tools that you have been using, that you've been practicing, because we know it's in the moment that it can be most difficult. You will be practicing your tools around self-awareness, and I'll share in a minute how I started that. And then what you're going to notice is that in the moment, you're going to pull out the tools that you've been working on with your coach, with your therapist, without prompt. It's going to happen for you. And then you're going to reframe your thoughts, or you're going to make a different choice about how you show up and how you react. And then that sense of achievement that you know that you can change, that's going to build your confidence. You're going to become more confident in this area, and then you're going to be more confident in other areas, and you have this amazing ripple effect. So the fact that it improves the effectiveness of these therapeutic tools is really key, because what I hear over and over again is, I can read it all, but it's not working. Are you really putting your commitment into those early stages of getting to know yourself? That would be my question to you. So what are the next steps? Number one is to trust the process, to trust that the practices that you're using are working before you see the results. To trust in yourself, because sometimes what is going to happen is you're going to be in the moment and you're going to think, this is the time I could break free from the overthinking. This is the moment Carly and I were talking about. And then you're going to go back into it. Maybe you go back into worrying, or back into feeling jealous, or back into whatever it is. But in the early stages, that moment where you just thought, I could do something here, you were in the present moment there. You just came away from being in it and spiraling, even just for a second. What we want to do through the power of self-awareness and trusting that it's happening is that will expand. It won't just be, this is it, this is the moment. It will become, okay, well, let me do X, Y, and Z. Let me take this new route. But you're gonna have to trust that that is happening, because you're not gonna start a practice today and then tomorrow you're gonna be off of autopilot and the most conscious person. So trust the process. You've been in the old pattern for so long, it's gonna take a while to reshape and reframe and be yourself, okay? So I have many different options when it comes to building self-awareness for working with me, because it's always going to be at the core, especially those beginning stages where we're working together, because I need you to get to know your mind, body, and soul. Only you know. I've got the questions, got the exercises, but that is inside of you. So whether it's through one-to-one, my membership, my programs, check them out. Also, my free course, Attachment Styles, The Next Level. In the first session on that, is a 3-part course. I give you a tool, a framework to help you to become more aware of your current situation, so that you can get to know, okay, well, what's my next level? What do I need to do next? So you can always start there. If not, book a free call and we can discuss it together. The first practice that I ever did, and I really remember this, I don't know where I got it from. I expect I was reading a self-help book at the time. And I expect it was talking about self-awareness and how important it is, and we can't change until we're aware. And so what I started to do is 3 times a day, I would check in with myself. What am I thinking? What am I feeling? What am I doing? Not just when I was stressed, not just when I was happy. Morning, noon, and night, I asked myself those 3 questions. And what it meant was, not only did it just help me that day, because say I woke up in the morning and said, I'm really stressed, and then I went into work, and that's when I had colleagues and was working for the NHS. I'd already checked in that morning, so I knew I was stressed. So when I got into work and I don't know, someone was sat in my seat, it wasn't so overwhelming. I don't know if anyone's ever had that experience, because I knew I was stressed. I knew it wasn't about that. I was already in a state of stress. You know, our stories and our experience, it follows our state. It depends on the state that you're in, how you're going to respond to these moments. So it really helped with that as well. So not only did I just start to get to know myself, it's one of the times that I realized that I really struggle in the mornings. I was waking people, and many people know this about my story. I used to have really bad morning dread. I would feel really low in the mornings. Through this practice, I became so aware of that I was able to change it. And now I love the mornings. So just checking in with myself 3 times a day, really simple. I don't actually give that practice as much anymore. Maybe I will now that I'm bringing it back to my own attention. But I give different exercises for my clients to help them build awareness, because I kind of want to go in on that deeper body level, to be honest with you. But since you're here and I wanted to just give you something to start off with, try that. Try 3 times a day, checking in with yourself, and see what difference you feel in a week, 2 weeks, in a month. But definitely make sure to let me know. You're not going to see the results in just, well, you might actually get a result in one day, but you've got to be persistent with this, be consistent and trust the process. So I hope you found that useful. Let me know in the comments any key takeaways. And also, if whilst you were listening to this, there was anything else that you thought, oh, I want to know more about that, please let me know in the comments, because it gives me ideas for future videos, and that is always a good thing. Otherwise, do not forget, you're enough, you are lovable, you are so, so worthy, and you're irreplaceable.